The ugly truth about being a solo real estate agent. If you've been watching my content for a while now, you've noticed that I've never really advocated for agents joining a real estate team unless it's a very certain circumstance, and I've always been very heavy on agents just being solo agents. However, in today's video, we are going to talk about the dark side of being a solo real estate agent. What's going on? It's Will, and I'm glad to have you here with me today. So I have been a solo real estate agent since the very beginning of my career. I have never once joined a real estate team. Now, I've had countless conversations with agents regarding this matter on whether or not they should join a real estate team. And believe it or not, there have been a few times where I have recommended some agents join a real estate team. I really do think it's all about everyone's very specific situation and scenario. However, there haven't been many scenarios where I have recommended that they should join a team, which, by the way, if you currently feel confused on whether or not to join a real estate team, make sure to book a one-on-one phone call session with me. It's completely free. You can use the Calendly link down in the description box below. I want to talk more about my personal struggle as a solo agent. I've been a real estate agent for almost 4 years now. I have had my fair share of some pretty crazy struggles, throughout these years. Some were pretty tough. Some tempted me to give up real estate. There's a lot, so let's talk about it. Going solo as an agent can be one of the most challenging things as a real estate agent. I've had many moments in my career where things got insanely lonely, right? I never had a team leader to come check up on me or give me leads when things get tough. This is one thing you will need to battle through as a solo agent. However, there is an aid to this, and I will admit to you guys, I think I caused a lot of these problems on myself early on. So let's talk about that a little bit. As I've mentioned before in some of my previous videos, I wasn't too vocal my first couple years in real estate. So I didn't really put myself out there and create relationships with other agents, which could have put me in a much better position as a solo agent in my first couple years because, yeah, maybe I didn't have a team, but I still had a lot of people around me that I could have reached out to. Basically, when I was at Keller Williams and then now with EXP, I've probably only had my mentor, right? So there wasn't like that many other people, and it's something that I really needed to learn and develop. Just go and talk to more people and build those relationships so you can have more support systems around you. So please, if you are a brand new real estate agent and you don't want to go down the whole team thing and whatever, and you want to be committed to being a solo agent and building your brand, make sure you are building relationships early on. I know a lot of people in real estate will talk to you about building relationships with the marketplace, like clients and whatever, so you can sell houses. No one ever talks about the relationships that you need to create with other agents. I feel like that's such an underrated thing that just no one sheds light on. So I'm telling you now, create relationships with a lot of agents, title people, lenders, everybody, escrow people, so that you can be in a position where you have built a lot of relationships and you can reach out to multiple different people for any questions you may have. Because I'm telling you right now, those feelings of loneliness and the feeling of lack of support, those are things that will tempt you to quit real estate, and you do not want to feel that. Because once you start to feel that, and I've seen this so many times, and even with people at EXP, people start to feel some sort of lack of support because they're not going out there and actually getting the support that's already available to them. And once they start to feel like that, they want to leave the brokerage, and then when they leave the brokerage and go to another one, they realize, oh, it's the same exact thing, and then they start to realize that they might be the issue, and then they realize it's been so long and they don't even really know what to do anymore, and then they quit. This happens with so many people, and it doesn't just start at EXP. This starts everywhere, freaking KW, everywhere. So overall, just avoid that lonely feeling. Figure it out, go talk to people, go create relationships. I had to learn the hard way, and those first 2 years in real estate were really, really tough on me. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, as a solo real estate agent, you don't have anyone to provide you leads. You don't have a team leader to come and, give you a sheet full of buyer leads and to go to these open houses and all that. You don't have any of that. As a solo real estate agent, your business is completely dependent on you. And that's a very scary feeling for a lot of people, taking on that responsibility. But when you become a solo agent, you must understand everything is on me. I can't blame anyone. I'm not going to have somebody come and save me. And this is a scary thing, especially for a lot of people who are coming from the corporate world. And let's be honest, most of us did come from the corporate world. I mean, I did, right? I worked at a gym, I was a manager at a gym, and I had a team and everything. So, I was around that team culture. And then coming into real estate, it was like, wow, this is a lot different, right? Because you are self-employed. So it's very different and it could be uncomfortable and scary. So you need to go that extra mile to get that lead. You need to go that extra mile to build that relationship. You need to go that extra mile to build your business. So when things go wrong in your business, look in the mirror and see what you can do to fix it. Nobody is coming to save you. You need to figure it out. And that doesn't mean you literally only have to figure it out on your own and kind of sit at your desk and be like, what do I need to do? No, you can definitely go and have conversations with people, right? That's why we mentioned building these relationships. But there are ways to aid that lonely feeling and that figuring it out feeling. Now, many people who are with teams, a lot of people completely depend on their team leader for their leads. I mean, to the point where if they were no longer with that team, they wouldn't even have a going real estate business. And of course, as a solo agent, you need to completely depend on yourself for your income and the leads that you are getting. Now, let me ask you, can you bet on yourself? Being a solo agent has challenged me mentally multiple times, right? And everybody is different as an agent, but for the most part, for the first couple of years or so, or maybe even longer, you're probably not going to have a consistent flow of clientele coming in. You might sell a few houses here and there, but it's probably not going to be as consistent as you would like it to be. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears to get your clientele to that consistency that you want it. And obviously, this is nothing new, guys. This is something that is going to be hard. I know a lot of agents on social media will make it look like they're just selling everything, right? But there's a reason why there's just a small percentage of agents who are actually selling multiple homes every month, just on a roll. They're selling multiple homes. Everything is completely consistent in their business. They didn't get that overnight. It takes a long time to get that done. So it's going to be no different with you. So if you are not a patient person, do not become a solo agent. Matter of fact, don't even become a real estate agent altogether. I always remember my why. And that's just the most important thing for you. Understanding what your why is, what you're even doing in the real estate industry in the first place. And I am warning you, this will happen. You will start to have many moments where you feel overwhelmed, and a lot of times where you're going to feel like this just isn't working for me and I need to give up. That is probably going to happen. You have to fight through that, because at some point, if you are staying consistent, things will hit. You just have to continue working hard. Everything I am telling you today is all experience. These are not things I have not experienced. This isn't something that I'm just making up. Like, these are actual things that I've gone through in my first 4 years. And I know not a lot of people talk about the whole dark side of being a solo agent. So that's why I wanted to make this video for you. And if you are enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like on the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, you may be thinking, Will, if you have gone through all of that, why in the world are you staying a solo agent? And I'll keep it super simple for you with my answer. It's because of my brand. Something that most real estate agents need to understand. As I mentioned before, a lot of us left the corporate world to get into real estate, and a lot of our reasons for that is because we wanted to be self-employed. We wanted to be our own boss. We wanted to build our own brand and our own future. I don't want to say it's not possible doing that on a team. I just think it's going to be way more difficult doing that. So you're going to be getting the easy business, but you're kind of sacrificing building your brand, right? Whereas if you're a solo agent, you're not going to be getting the easy business up front, but you are going to be building one hell of a brand. And I say this with no disrespect, but a lot of agents that I think about who are on certain teams, when somebody tells me their name, the first thing I think about is their team. I don't think about just them. I think about the team that they're on. That's how a lot of people are going to do that. And a lot of these teams, they'll put their own marketing material, like when you list a house and everything. So there's just not a lot of brand building. You know what I mean? I know you're getting the leads and everything, but the brand building to me is very weak. And I feel like it's not fully there. So I refuse to go months and even years building a team leader's personal brand while I just ignore my own brand. If people want to work with me as an agent because of my team leader or my real estate brokerage, I honestly consider myself failed. I want people to work with me because of me. We like Will. Will is a great real estate agent. Not, oh, I'm going to work with Will because his team leader is great. Oh man, screw that. And I really do feel like that's the mindset that so many agents need to have, because when you do have that mindset, you're really really going to attack your goals in a more personal way, because it is personal. Every deal that you close, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into getting that deal done, from cold calling the person or door knocking, or posting on social media consistently, to actually getting them as a client, getting them pre-approved, or going on that listing appointment, getting the house under contract, and then closing the deal. Believe me, it hits different when it is your own deal and you worked hard for it on your own. I've spoken extensively on some of the cons of joining a real estate team in one of my past videos, so I'll make sure to link that video up here, or you can check it out down in the description box below. And I probably will be coming out with a newer and fresher video about why you shouldn't be joining a real estate team, so stay tuned for that. So going that extra mile for my own business and brand is worth it to me. I know that in the future, when everything is the way that I wanted it to be, when my vision actually is manifest, I know that in the future I will look back on my past self and I will thank myself for never folding and just joining a team for now business. And I really don't want anyone to think that I'm shaming them if you are on a team. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I do understand that certain people have certain situations, and I've recommended teams to some people. Like, for example, if you're getting in the real estate industry and you just need to be a part of that culture, then there are a few scenarios here and there where I will recommend it. However, I always tell people this: ask yourself this question: what are you looking for in a real estate team? Now that you know what you're looking for in a real estate team, ask yourself this: are you able to get that being a solo agent? So for example, I want to join a real estate team because I want to learn the real estate business. Okay, do you need a team leader for that, or can you just hire a mentor and still be a solo agent? In my opinion, I think there's an answer to basically anything you would need on a real estate team. I think you can get it as a solo agent. So that's just kind of where I come from all this, but I don't want anyone thinking I'm shaming them for being a part of a real estate team. If you are on a real estate team right now, keep killing it. Any leads that they're giving you, take advantage of it. Keep selling those houses, do whatever you can. But what I am saying, and if there's one thing that I can hope about this video, is I hope it inspires you to really focus on your personal brand and not too much on your team leaders. And I hope it inspires you not to depend on your team leader anymore, for leads. Focus on getting those leads on your own. A great question to ask yourself is, if you left your team today, would you still have a real estate business? If you say, yes, I would, great. You know what I mean? You're doing a great job with lead generation. If you say no, maybe you're depending a little bit too much on your team leader and it's time for you to, reassess some things. So overall, if there's one thing that you can take from this video, it's to work on your personal brand, because it is worth it. Your future is worth it. Your why is worth it. However, it's a temporary suffering for a long-term gain. And if you are currently a solo real estate agent struggling right now, I want to encourage you, keep going. We are all in this together. We all have our struggles, but you got to keep going, because it is 100% worth it. I want to know how you feel about this video. I want to know if you are currently struggling. Let me know some things. I love learning how everybody's experience is in the real estate industry. So make sure to leave a comment down below and make sure to check out this video next. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you all on the next one.